Merlin's beard, finally the first footage of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore in form of a teaser trailer. And the full trailer is dropping on Monday, so make sure you come back for a full breakdown. But yeah, this was a bit of a surprise. We knew some sort of trailer was coming. We knew we were probably going to get a teaser in the next few days or weeks because they've got that 20th anniversary Harry Potter on the 1st of January. And also today, Twitter started doing Dumbledore and Fantastic Beasts emojis. But I did not expect this today. Honestly, I just sat down for my dinner at a little restaurant and boom, Fantastic Beasts news. Sucks to be a YouTuber, but here we go. Brand new footage, including Jude Law's Albus Dumbledore, the first look of Gellert Grindelwald, now played by Mads Mikkelsen, and also some very, very interesting details. So let's break this all down. But guys, if you're new here and you're a fan of Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, Fantastic Beasts, fantasy, or whatever TV shows and films you can see down below, make sure you subscribe. December is going to be crazy, and the entirety of next year as well, 2022. Come back for Fantastic Beasts in April, and so much more. But yeah, let's get to this. The teaser promises new adventures on the horizon, and the best place to start is the most iconic location in the entirety of Harry Potter, Hogwarts Castle. But it's not just Hogwarts. Just like the previous two films, we're going abroad. We're going to other parts of the Wizarding World. This time it's Bhutan, Germany, and also China. We don't know the situation with Brazil because when the film was first announced, when J.K. Rowling said she was working on it, there was lots of teasers for Brazil. And at one point, Rio de Janeiro was outright confirmed. But since then, including test screenings, there's been no mention of Brazil. So I don't know if Brazil has been taken out after the rewrites. But no matter where the film is set, the main plot seems to be based around Albus Dumbledore, Newt Scamander, and his team's plan of stopping Gellert Grindelwald and his rise to power. So let's break this down scene by scene. So it starts off at Hogwarts, just like I said. We can see Newt Scamander, his brother Theseus, Jacob Kowalski the Nomage, and Professor Eulalie Hicks, also known as Lally, who is the Charms Professor at Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in America. You'll remember she did make a small appearance in Crimes of Grindelwald, where she communicated with Nicholas Flamel in that Phoenix book, where wizards and witches all over the world, in Dumbledore's gang, Dumbledore's associates, can speak to each other, which I think is a prelude or the original version of the Order of the Phoenix. Kinda like your White Lotus from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Loads of characters all over the world from different nations working together for the greater good. And their mission right now is to stop Grindelwald, basically taking over the Wizarding World. Newt Scamander and his friends are now part of this team. We can see them walking down the Hogwarts corridors, going to see Dumbledore, who is sending them on a dangerous mission. And there's Dumbledore looking absolutely fabulous in his new scarf. He's dressed for the cold, so expect Dumbledore to join the mission this time. He won't be sitting out in Hogwarts like last time. And you'll notice Dumbledore is slightly older because this film is set in the 1930s, whereas Crimes of Grindelwald was 1927, so there has been a time skip. Not sure exactly how long, but it's been a few years, at least 3. And to be honest guys, that's what we're here to see. Jude Law as young sexy Albus Dumbledore, who does the voiceover for this trailer. He says, "The world as we know it is coming undone. Things that seem unimaginable today will seem inevitable tomorrow. Should you agree to do I ask, you'll have to trust me, even when every instinct tells you not to." So Dumbledore's got a plan to stop Grindelwald, taking over the wizarding governments, and eventually starting a war against the Muggles in a bid to take over the world for the greater good. Or at least that's his public image. In private, he's a much more diabolical person. He even ordered one of his followers to kill a baby Muggle. But this time, Dumbledore's on the case. Dumbledore is getting directly involved, as much as the Blood Pact will allow him, because right now, I believe the Blood Pact is still in play, and Dumbledore and Grindelwald cannot face off against each other. And that's why Dumbledore needs help. But as always, it's a Dumbledore plan, so he's withholding information from his team, just like he withheld information from Harry. And it seems like this time he's withholding the information, because if he tells them too much, it could mess it all up. But he needs his team to trust him. He can't do it alone. And at some point in this plan, they're going to doubt Dumbledore. They're going to think he sent us in here to die, or this plan is going to fail miserably. At first, it might seem like Dumbledore is just manipulating them, or putting them in danger. But we trust Dumbledore. He's not perfect, but he's got it figured out. He just needs help, and of course a bit of luck. It looks like they're heading down the corridors into the room of requirement, where Dumbledore is waiting for them. And as you see, Dumbledore is dressed for the road, with his hat, coat and scarf, so he's coming too, like I said. No sign of Jacob in this shot, but we have Newt, Theseus, Lally, and another character in a hat. Probably going to be Bunty, Newt's assistant, but it is hard to tell from a distance. But there are suitcases on the floor, likely linked to Dumbledore's plan to thwart Grindelwald. And it also seems like they're using some sort of cylinder device with markings of beasts and hieroglyphics. It's probably some sort of magical device meant to transport a witch or wizard over a great distance. Either a portkey or something very similar, or perhaps closer to a vanishing cabinet. And because this device is very extravagant, it must be important. It cannot be just a simple portkey. It has to be linked to another specific location thousands of miles away on the other side of the world. And it kind of looks like a prayer wheel, which hints more towards being linked to somewhere in Asia, probably Bhutan or China. And it's possible the location is wherever this temple or fortress is. But it seems like Grindelwald has taken over, as we can see fireworks with his symbol, which is from the last film, the Gellert Grindelwald Elder Wand symbol. And we can see people on the steps. That could be Grindelwald or Queenie. I don't think it's Nuremberg, Grindelwald's castle though. I think it's somewhere in the Himalayas, in the same location as the location that's linked to the prayer wheel. And the buildings up front kind of look like they would be from an Asian country. And with the fireworks going off, it looks like Grindelwald is celebrating a win, some sort of political win, or taking over the fortress. And speaking of Gellert Grindelwald, we have the first look of Mads Mikkelsen as the character. It looks like he's been celebrated by a crowd. And that's what makes Grindelwald so dangerous. Whereas Voldemort ruled through fear and hate, Grindelwald is gaining support by winning the hearts of his followers. The trust, the love. Even though in private he's a nasty piece of work, like I said earlier. His public face, on the other hand, he's a hero. But of course Dumbledore's plan is probably to change that. Next up is one of my favourite characters from the Fantastic Beasts series, who was criminally underused last time. That's Vinda Rosier, cast in The Killing Curse. She's Grindelwald's second in command, his Bellatrix, his number 2. Remember, she was the one who introduced Queenie to Grindelwald, and was always by his side. She's charming, sexy, and I want to see her kick ass. Newt is in some danger. We can see him cradling some sort of baby beast, whilst running through a forest, dodging fire from attackers. Grindelwald must be after this creature for some diabolical scheme. And Newt Scamander just wants to protect it. No matter how deeply involved in the war and the politics he gets, it's his number one objective to protect the beasts that he loves. And of course, there was always going to be a bit of nostalgia. We can see a Gryffindor Quidditch player flying over Hogwarts Castle. Just there for the nostalgia and fan service, or whatever. No surprise Fantastic Beasts 3 wants to look and feel more like Harry Potter, with lots of callbacks. And then we've got some sort of giant creepy crawly-like beast, perhaps spider-like, or even the blast-ended squirt, which I believe Hagrid bred in 1994, so that is not going to be the creature. He bred that beast using fire crabs and manticores. So perhaps it's one of those beasts, or maybe something very similar. Honestly, I can't say, but I hope they don't retcon this. And then next up is Theseus dodging spells and running through a fiery corridor. Remember guys, Theseus is now on Team Newt and Dumbledore. And I expect Theseus to have a larger role this time. And that's kind of what I wanted from Fantastic Beasts 2. More of Theseus, Lita and Newt's relationships. But of course Lita is dead now. But I've got a feeling we haven't seen the last of her. Then you've got Jacob making a mess at some sort of dinner party. And yeah guys, you notice he has a wand in his right hand. Or what looks like a wand. But obviously Jacob is a no-mage, a muggle, so he can't use magic. A wand is useless, unless he has some sort of hidden abilities, but I don't think they would show that in a trailer. I think it's just to get people talking. And the wand is just a decoy. that allows him to blend into one of Grindelwald's wizarding dinner parties. And then we have Dumbledore travelling, and a golden snitch flies into his hand. Might just be a cool shot from a well-known device from Harry Potter, or perhaps the golden snitch has something hidden inside, just like in the Deathly Hallows, when the Resurrection Stone was hidden in there by Dumbledore, who meant it for Harry. He does have gloves on, so it's not like it's going to open through flesh memory. But I believe this snitch will have something inside of it, and I would say the Blood Pact. I'm going with that. And it also looks like Dumbledore could be in Bhutan or China here. And then speaking of Dumbledore, we've got long-haired Credence Barebone, also known as Aurelius Dumbledore, who looks more and more like Severus Snape every day. He wields his wand fighting against his so-called brother Albus in the streets of Berlin, using his obscurial powers, which Dumbledore blocks. But no matter what, we have seen his power. He's incredibly overpowered. And no doubt by this time he's had a few years of training. But I don't think he can take on Albus Dumbledore, because Albus Dumbledore is terribly overpowered, perhaps the most powerful wizard in the entire series. And the Order of the Phoenix film did not do it justice. That film made it look like Voldemort had the upper hand, whereas in the books, Dumbledore was in control. And Dumbledore had a few handicaps in that duel, because he had to protect Harry, and also he was not trying to kill Voldemort, he was just trying to capture him, so that Fudge could see him. And Voldemort, on the other hand, was going for the kill using very dangerous dark magic. But I think it's time we see the true power of Albus Dumbledore, using his highly advanced and skilled magic, but with control. He doesn't want to harm Credence, just disarm him, subdue him, before convincing him to believe himself over Grindelwald, who is clearly untrustworthy. But at this point, Aurelius is probably brainwashed. But I think Dumbledore will get through to him in the end. And of course, finally, we have Dumbledore telling Theseus to trust him, even when every instinct tells him not to. And Newt's in the background, on Dumbledore's side. So it seems like Theseus might need reassurance of Dumbledore's plan. Of course, Theseus is much more hot-headed than his brother, and perhaps because he held the position of power and authority as head Auror, he might feel he knows better than Dumbledore. Or perhaps he feels Dumbledore is just leading them into a situation where they can't win. They're going to lose, or worse, get killed. But yeah, I think I've rambled enough, so post your thoughts on the brand new Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore teaser. And let me know if you disagree with anything I've said, or if you've got any other ideas. These are just my initial thoughts, nothing too deep. We'll save that for Monday when the full trailer drops. And speaking of trailer, a couple of days ago there was a trailer registered that was 1 minute long. I don't know if that is the trailer dropping on Monday, but we will find out in a few days, so make sure you come back for a full breakdown for that. And more Fantastic Beasts videos are coming as well, so subscribe to get all the videos, because I am damn sure hyped about this film. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you soon.